Congratulations to the graduating class, the new doctors of the Keck School of Medicine class of 2021. And congratulations to your families and friends for whom this may be a long-held dream finally realized. And we all must thank your friends, family, and loved ones who were with you over the past several years, helping you in so many intangible ways to achieve this incredible milestone. Through this experience, one day at a time, one patient at a time, you have reached a summit together, and many more will lie ahead. For some of you, the view from this precipice looks crystal clear and stunning, and for others, it's obscured in the mist. I am here to urge all of you, no matter the view, to embrace this trek. The destination and the scenery along the way may look quite different over the years, but you now have the knowledge, skills, inner strength, and resilience to make this incredible voyage ahead. My own journey has been surprising, sometimes dark with clouds, sometimes with magnificent vistas, however, always gratifying. Because the honor of being a physician, whatever roads we follow, is truly extraordinary. I am thrilled to be the 19th director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the nation's public health protection agency, at such a critical time. And I have come a long way from the clinical infectious diseases fellow I was in the late 90s, and even from the position I held until January as the chief of the infectious disease service at Massachusetts General Hospital. Like all of you today, 26 years ago, I sat at my medical school graduation and aspired simply to do good. My plan was to heal the sick, to comfort the dying, and to help each patient one at a time. For me, it was 1995, and I began my internship in an inner city hospital full of patients dying of AIDS. No treatment yet available, and hope running thin for both doctors and patients alike. It was a time of a different pandemic, but an eerily similar feeling of hopelessness and of many dying alone. It was a time when health access was limited for those who were Black and brown. It was a time when what I had learned in medical school was put to the test every day on the wards. It was not just about the medical knowledge, as we had little of it with AIDS, but it was about the comfort I could provide. I never had my dreams or desires set on infectious disease. The field found me, and I am forever grateful. The early days of my career shaped the doctor I became and the interests I pursued. At the intersection of social justice, equity, and global health were infectious agents threatening every organ system and traversing every fascial plane. And from this, my passion for improving care for those at the intersection were born. Year after year, patient after patient, I climbed the summit in front of me, following my true north. I never expected that the trek would lead me to direct the CDC. I knew the vista from the top meant caring for those in need, and I embraced the climb. During my time with you today, I will humbly share with you some thoughts I hope will leave and help you along your path, no matter where it may take you, and how to confront your inevitable forks in the road. First, connect with the work in front of you. If you find yourself intrigued with a clinical presentation, motivated to read an extra bit more, curious about an unexpected diagnosis, let that passion speak to you, even if it's unexpected. Maybe it is an unanticipated calling. Always treat everyone, no matter the time of day and no matter who is watching, as if he or she is your family, because you are caring for someone's family. The experience of healthcare, hospitalization, and diagnostic studies is new, scary, and foreign to many. And the time your patients and their families have with you is precious to them. Remember to care for those who rarely receive care, the underserved. Let them complete their story. Listen to them. Stay at the bedside just a little bit longer. Learn what stood in their way, why it took them so long to present, why they did not have care before, and what piece of their life got in the way. If you discharge them temporarily better than where they were, with a prescription they were unable to fill, remember you have done little to improve their overall health. I had a wise social worker once walk me through how to tell somebody he or she had a new diagnosis of HIV. You tell them and then you wait until they speak first, and it will feel like a forever pause. But what they say next will matter a lot. It will give you a window as to their biggest concerns. Will it be, am I going to die? Is my baby okay? Where did I get this? And how will I tell my partner? Who will pay for my meds? All of these will be important, but those first articulated words can tell you so much about where your patients are, and your privilege is to meet them there. For those planning to do research, ask the big questions, the hard ones. The answers are often slow to come and the path frustrating. Try to be undeterred by your failures. For every paper I published in a high-profile journal, there were at least 5 that were rejected. Love the pursuit of the question and the exceptional scientists who choose to pursue it with you. It is the pursuit of the answer that is your mission, not landing the grant or paper. Surround yourself by those who are smarter than you and let yourself strive bigger because they are, letting go of your pride or competition, and travel together in the spirit of discovery. And lastly, as you take every next step, every next job, every next grant, and every next endeavor, remember, you should be nervous. You should aim big and you should strive high. Remember, if you are not thinking even for just a minute that you might be biting off a bit too much, you are not aiming big enough. That last lesson is one I remind myself of every single day. Throughout your career, you will have patients who remind you why you chose this profession. Their stories become your stories, and their journey, your journey. I want to leave you with a story that became part of my journey, the story of JM. JM was a patient from my internship. She was in her 20s, and I was in my first month. She laid in the bed on the left on Nelson 5. I remember her well. Why? Because JM had an unknown diagnosis and was sick. And the attending physician was my residency director, a world-renowned physician who, as a fresh intern, I found particularly intimidating. I wrote for Cytoxan for the first time for JM, and while I explained its dangerous side effects to her, I was not sure who of us was more nervous. Ultimately, JM was diagnosed with granulomatosis with polyangiitis. After several weeks in-house and pretty beaten up, she was discharged on her way to recovery. I remember her story well and the trust that JM and people like her put in us as physicians, and how seriously we need to take that trust. The week after I was nominated to be CDC director, JM emailed me. 26 years later. She remembered me, my name, and in her words, how much my care for her meant. She is thriving, and she sent me a photo of her with her family. And as I reflected on how I felt about that care, I was insecure, uncertain, and tenuous. But to her, I was doctor. And this is how you will touch people, even when you don't realize you are doing so. So doctors, put on your binoculars, enjoy this spectacular view, even if it's currently hazy, and go touch the world. Go discover, go heal. This world needs you now more than ever. Congratulations.